Hey guys, so I'm going to give you kind of a summary rundown of what you've had to read so far. I'm using some notes that I took, so just bear with me as I kind of follow along here. So far we've met three characters. We've met Amanda, Tom, and Laura. Amanda is the mother of Tom and Laura, who are her adult children, but they all live together. Tom is the narrator of the play. He is an undisguised convention of the play, meaning that he steps out of character and talks directly to the audience as if he is the narrator. And he steps back in the action to continue on with the play. He says that this is a memory play, and it's just everything is in your memory is, kind of not detailed, and it all seems like it's set to music because of the emotions that are attached to it. There is a picture of the father that left the family hanging on the wall, and this is kind of serving as a constant reminder that he left the family and abandoned them. And it also serves as a reminder that his mom, Amanda, is constantly, referring to this picture, saying, you don't want to be like your father and abandon your family. So Tom is very much stuck in this situation where he can't move on with his own life because he's too busy taking care of his sister, Laura, who's extremely fragile, both physically. She has a defective leg. She's like a slight limp. They call her, they say don't call her a cripple. And she's also painfully shy and has social anxiety to the point where she can make herself sick over her social situation. So she kind of retreats into this fantasy world where she doesn't have to, deal with reality of any kind of real life situation. A little bit about Amanda, the mom. So she is stuck in her past. She's always talking about her youthful days. She's from the South. She talks about one day she received 17 gentleman callers, and a gentleman caller is like a suitor. So basically she's saying that she used to be, popular and wanted by all the guys. And she, is constantly trying to force the things that she doesn't have now onto her children. The scene with Laura and Amanda, where there's a scene where Amanda found out that Laura had dropped out of business college a long time ago, and she didn't know it, and she's been just going, walking in the park and instead of going to school every day, and deceiving her mother. And her mother is so angry about this and extremely upset that she, kind of broke this potential path of life, because she is worried that if Laura doesn't get married, then she needs this business college as kind of a backup to support herself. So that's, I think, one of the reasons why she's so upset. The other reason why she's so upset is because she feels like her daughter deceived her by not telling her that she wasn't going to school. She dropped out because she went to class and she physically threw up when she got to class because of the social situation. She cannot deal with reality of any kind of outside world. After the scene where we find out about Amanda realizing that Laura hasn't gone to school in a long time, now more than ever, Amanda wants to find a suitor or a gentleman caller for her daughter because she's afraid that, now she's not going to get a job because she doesn't go to school anymore. And so she really needs a man to support her. So we'll talk about that in a second. But Laura tells her mother that, after a lot of prying from her mother, that she one time liked a boy, and it was back in high school. His name was Jim. She talks about how he called her Blue Roses because one day she came back into school after being sick, and she said she had pleurosis, and Jim thought she said Blue Roses, and so that became her nickname. In the meantime, Amanda, the mom, tries to sell magazine subscriptions to make more money, to get the house ready, and all prim and proper for potential gentleman callers. And so she's kind of nagging Tom to find a suitor to come to the house and, kind of try to date Laura so she's not alone anymore. And obviously Laura does not know this plan because otherwise she would totally freak out. Amanda is constantly nagging her children. She is constantly nagging Tom for going out to the movies. He is clearly unhappy with his life. He works in a shoe warehouse. He says the fluorescent light bulbs get to you. There's no windows. It's the same thing day in and day out. You clock in, you clock out. It's the same mundane routine. He feels trapped. You could tell he hates what he does. And then he comes home to a nagging mother when he's an adult himself. And he very much deeply cares about his sister, which I feel like is why he still stays at the house, because he doesn't want to leave his sister. He feels like he needs to protect her, maybe even from his mother. On page 20 of the script, on the PDF script, he goes off about, his mother's like, where are you always going? I don't even believe you that you're actually going to the movies. I think you're doing drugs and everything. And then he goes off on this huge sarcastic monologue about how, he's actually going to opium dens and they call him Killer Wingfield and blah, blah, blah. And he's, saying, I've had enough of you. And he insults his mom, which, he eventually apologizes and she has a hard time getting over. He talks about how he saw a magic show, and there was a trick in the magic show where, he talks about a bunch of different tricks, but he said the one that really caught his eye was that there was a locked coffin with a person. The magician was inside of the locked coffin, and he was able to escape from this coffin without removing one single nail, which kind of is symbolic for the fact that Tom wishes that he could escape from his life, but he also is too afraid that if he leaves, that he'll leave his sister behind, who is, mentally unstable, and he can't escape his life without damaging, his sister or his mother, or letting people down, or feeling guilty about it. And at the end, let me add something. So also the whole time, Laura has this infatuation and obsession with this glass menagerie, which are these just like tiny little glass animals. And when Tom accidentally knocks one over, we see Laura like gasp in, she's extremely upset about this. And this just goes to show how much of a fantasy world she has retreated into and how she does not know how to deal with the real world at all. She's an adult and has, this obsession with these glass animals, and one breaks and it's like her world is shattering because she just can't deal with any kind of reality because of her crippling, no pun intended, social anxiety and shyness and, inability to do anything outside of the house, especially when I think she is asked to go get milk by her mom and she like trips on the fire escape and, she can't, as soon as she leaves the outside world, she is, damaged by something that happened. So at the end of the reading so far, basically, Tom tells his mother that he has gotten a gentleman caller for Laura. It's some guy that works at his shoe warehouse. It's someone he works with. It's a friend of his. But his mother Amanda is very happy that he's going to be bringing someone home potentially to be a suitor for Laura. But we find out that his name is, and of course, Amanda grills Tom on this guy and information about him. But we found out his name is James O'Connor, and just kind of foreshadowing that Laura was talking about someone named Jim. This guy's name is James, could be the same guy. It was kind of foreshadowing back when she was saying, you know, she's only one guy in her life that she's ever had a crush on. So the gentleman caller is coming to the house, and that's the next part we're going to read. Okay, hopefully that was a decent summary of everything that you were supposed to have read so far. Make sure you're keeping up with the reading. Miss all of you. Goodbye.